So here you are. Just check that that works.
Yeah, that's all right.
It works.
Okay, brilliant. So welcome everyone. Thank you very much for coming today. My name is Simon and I'm from Cranfield University. So we are a specialist postgraduate university, masters only, and we specialise in science, engineering, technology and management. And our aim, our vision is to be valued globally for tackling the real world issues of today. So we want our students to think about having a sustainable future. So where's Cranfield located, for those of you who know? Well, London is about 40 minutes south of Cranfield. We are based in the English countryside, so it's a very beautiful campus. And Cranfield was actually established in 1946 as a former Royal Air Force base. Hence why it is now the only university in Europe with an airport and a fully functional airport as well, with aircraft that students can use for their engineering programs. A few key facts that I'd like to explain about Cranfield. Well, 88% of our research is world-leading. We have a very high academic to staff ratio, so that means that all of our students who come to study engineering programs at Cranfield have excellent, a lot of attention from our teachers. They get to ask about questions in all the classes. They get to meet with them on a one-to-one basis, and all your support is given, especially to international students. So Cranfield is a 6-time winner of the prestigious Queen's Anniversary Award. So this is an award given in the UK for universities that are making a difference to society in technology and engineering. And Cranfield's won it 6 times in energy, in aerospace, and in mechanical engineering. We've had about £100 million invested into our facilities in the last 4 years. So there's some really nice brand new buildings for our students to use. And Cranfield works with around 1,500 different companies related to all the different types of engineering, from mechanical to energy to aerospace to the environment. And we use these companies to create our courses, to give our students research projects, and hopefully to give them work and placement and internships. And finally, Cranfield is in the top 30 in the world for mechanical, aeronautical and manufacturing degrees, postgraduate degrees and masters, according to the QS World Rankings. Just a few facts there about Cranfield. Okay, let's go. I think the slide has stopped working.
It doesn't work. You see it. That's weird things.
That's weird things.
Let me stop sharing. I'm sorry for that.
No problem at all.
And close presentation. And we
back up and running in no time.
I'm sorry for that. That's fine. We were over here.
This one. There we go, perfect. So these are some of the companies that Cranfield works with. A lot of them are related to aerospace engineering. So you can see, for example, Airbus, BAE Systems, Boeing, Heathrow. But we work with a lot of companies that are giving our students research projects and that are actually coming in to work closely with our students. This is a nice campus view. As you can see, it's in the green English countryside. It's not always sunny, like the photo. And we have some very unique facilities. So we have some like forensic laboratories. We have environmental, another glass house there for soil management, for increasing crop yields. We have our Digital Aviation Research Centre. And this is how the Cranfield Masters will be structured. Before I talk about the courses we offer, I'm just going to briefly explain. If you did a Masters at Cranfield, it would be 1 year. It would start the first week of October, and it would go until the end of September the following year. So it's exactly 1 year. 60% of the Masters is a talk program. So that's going into seminars, going into lectures. 20% is actually a group project. So you would be working with all of your classmates on a research project that has been given to you by industry, by one of our company partners. And then you would have to work throughout the year as a team to make a solution to that problem, and present it at the end of your year. And finally, 20% is an individual thesis. So these are in the final 3 months of your study. You would be working on a research project that either you would like to do or that has been given to us by one of our companies. So that's how a structure is. Let's now have a look at some of the main things that Cranfield University offers. These are our 8 expertise are 8 specialist degrees we offer, from aerospace, defence and security, energy and sustainability, environment and agri-food, manufacturing and materials, school of management, transport systems and water. So all of these themes are industry facing, and they are all part of our vision at Cranfield to improve society and to tackle these global challenges. So I'm going to briefly have a look at some of the courses within these themes, so you can see if there's any masters that might be of interest to you. As you will be aware, Cranfield and the Universidad Politécnica de Madrid have a double degree partnership. So all of the students who come from the Politécnica to Madrid have a 50% bursary discount on our fees. So I'll explain that in a bit more detail soon. So this is our aerospace engineering department. We have nearly half of all the students who study aerospace engineering in the UK study at Cranfield, which shows its reputation. We have all sorts of facilities that students can use, such as flight simulators, air traffic control simulators, gas turbine engineering laboratories, and then an aerospace integration research centre. So a lot of local businesses, a lot of aircraft like EasyJet, British Airways, they use Cranfield University to do their research, and our students get really heavily involved in it. Here's another nice diagram and a nice aerial view of Cranfield's airport. So it's a fully functional airport. Students actually have the opportunity to go on a flight as part of their course. So you will do a research for it, and then you will actually meet with the pilot for 3 hours. You have an hour preparation, and you have an hour's flight around the English countryside, and then an hour's feedback. And students often say it's one of the most exciting parts of their course. And apparently, the pilot lets you have control for a few minutes if you're brave enough. But that's up to you to decide. So these
is not that 747.
just a little aircraft. So yeah, these are our master's courses in aerospace engineering. So each of these are different masters, and they each last for 1 year. So as you can see, some of them are related to the design, the vehicle design, the aerodynamics. Some of them are more computational focused or electronics focused, such as the computational fluid dynamics, aerospace computational engineering. And then we have robotics, and thermal power and propulsion. So a real wide variety for you to decide what might fit with your career and what you're looking to study. Then I'm going to go a bit quicker through these, but just so you're aware, these are our defence and security courses. We have a different campus based near Oxford, and Cranfield works very closely with the UK military, and a lot of its courses are in forensics, so forensic investigation, digital forensics, forensic ballistics, and again, this is actually based in a campus called Trivenham. And it's a different application process for these courses. So if you are interested, please come and contact me after. Then we move on to energy and sustainability. So Cranfield is the UK's number 3 for energy and sustainability in all of our courses. So it's really excellent facilities, as you can see here. We have an energy process laboratory. It's equipped with pilot-scale facilities to study clean energy conversion in fossil and biofuels. So obviously it's all about reducing carbon footprint. We have process systems engineering laboratory, which are also equipped with industrial-scale single-phase and multi-phase flow facilities to study the behavior of complex flows found in oil and gas production and process plants. So really excellent facilities. And then we have also our structural integrity laboratory. Now, Cranfield offers 4 courses in energy and sustainability. These are the 4 courses you can see. So advanced chemical engineering, obviously this is looking at the different types of chemicals about reducing carbon footprint and all of the new innovations for that. And then if you're more into the digital side of things, we have advanced digital energy systems, we have advanced mechanical engineering, and then a really popular course is our Masters in Renewable Energy. And Cranfield as a campus is very focused on sustainability, we have to follow very closely the United Nations 17 sustainability goals, and that runs through all of our different themes, all of our different campuses, and just generally around campus. And we really encourage our students to get involved in them. Those are our 4 courses there. And again, if you see a course that's of interest to you, I highly recommend you obviously go on our website and then look at the individual courses and their course content to see if those modules are something that are interesting for you. Then we go on to environment and agri-food. So very much focused on, again, sustainability in the food supply chain. And we have students coming from all around the world to study these courses. We like to say that Cranfield is an urban observatory or a living laboratory, which is a nice way to describe it. With solar farms, we have water treatment facilities, road testing environment, and a lot of new buildings that you can see there that our students who study a master's can enjoy. So the first course there you see, applied bioinformatics, is those students who are really interested in both data, IT, and biology, and it brings it together nicely. We have environmental engineering, environmental management for business, and then our food systems and management courses, which look at the food chain from manufacturing all the way through to production. So some really interesting courses in this. We then have the Cranfield School of Management, which offers courses that you would expect to find in a School of Management, from finance to accounting and finance, business economics and finance. The long list there. We have our manufacturing processes, materials, facilities. Again, we're in UK #1 in a lot of unique courses, including welding. And we have facilities such as the composite manufacturing. We have our welding and laser processing centre and materials characterisation suite, where students can do all sorts of different experiments looking into the future. And again, here you will see our long list of courses in manufacturing and materials. Again, some of them are focused more on aerospace, but we have courses that run all throughout the aspects. And finally, transport systems. This is actually our Boeing 737. It's not, it doesn't fly, as you asked me earlier. Unfortunately, this one doesn't. But you can do research on it, especially sort of electronic research for aviation. And these are our facilities in transport systems. For those students who are interested in motorsport engineering, Cranfield actually works very closely with a lot of Formula One teams. It's obviously based in the Motorsport Valley, we call it. So, for example, Red Bull is 10 minutes up the road from Cranfield in Milton Keynes. And Cranfield is one of just 2 FIA-approved testing crash centres for Formula One. So we often get teams coming to test out different parts of the car, and it's a really exciting place to be. And the first 2 courses you can see on this list, the Advanced Motorsport Engineering and Advanced Motorsport Mechatronics, are probably the most popular courses at Cranfield. So if this is something that's of interest to you, we really recommend you get your application in as early as possible and get as high as grades as possible, because there's a lot of competition for these courses. There's obviously a lot of interest in Formula One, and Cranfield's courses are very well known. The teams are often coming to our students to ask them to do specific research projects related to improving the car. And obviously, if the best students, think of really good ideas for them, then there's chances that there could be, possibilities of placements or work internships in the teams. But obviously, it's important to say it's not guaranteed. There's a lot of competition, but it's good to know that there's those opportunities. And then the rest of the courses, really interesting ones, specifically in sort of airport management, so air transport management. I mentioned earlier we have a flight simulator and an air traffic control simulator, so a really big simulator where our students can actually learn how it all works. So that's another really interesting course. And then again, maybe moving a bit away from Formula One, but staying in the car kind of industry, if that's of interest to you. We have then automotive engineering and automotive mechatronics. So this obviously would then give you a more general outlook of the mechanical engineering, but not directly related to motorsport, more the whole car industry. Nonetheless, fascinating courses. And then again, safety and human factors in aviation. And I think if I just go back to the slide before, you can actually see we have an accident investigation laboratory, which I forgot to mention. And this is kind of like a unique hands-on teaching facility for working with wreckage and evidence from all rail, marine and aircraft accidents. So I've been told that sometimes you go onto campus and you think there's been a crazy, something's happened, a big crash, but actually it's our students, so our academics that are working on a crash investigation site. So really interesting stuff. And finally, water. Cranfield focuses a lot on improving water facilities around the world. They do projects with various agents. I think they recently worked in South America with some companies there to look to improve water, cleanliness. These are the three courses we offer in water. And that was just a general overview then of our main 8 themes Cranfield. I didn't go into too much detail, but if there is a course that you're interested in, please come and contact Cranfield or go on our website, and we'll be very happy to put you in contact with our academics and tell you more information. What I just want to touch on now is what's life like as a student. If you decided to do a one-year master's with Cranfield, what's it going to be like? Well, as you've seen in the photos, it's in the English countryside. It's a very safe and secure location, but it's also very close to London. So at the weekends, if you want a bit more city life, like Madrid, or a city that you're in, you can go to London. We have basically like a whole village set up in Cranfield. We have hotels with full accommodation. So if you have family or friends visiting, you can go there. We have bars, cafes, a cash machine and a supermarket all on campus. We have our sports facilities there, where you can play all different types of sports, chapel, nursery. And next to Cranfield University, there's actually a technology park with a lot of startup companies that are related to all of our courses and themes. And we always say to our students who come from abroad, we really want you to get involved in UK culture, to travel around the UK. So there's trips organised by Cranfield for all of our international students. We want you to get involved in entrepreneurial mindset. Again, going back to our theme of sustainability, we have lots of little events and projects going on for students. Networking, both with students from your other courses, not just your own, but also with academics, and joining all of our clubs. Student accommodation. So this is another important part. I did mention actually about the fees. I'll go back to it now. So the courses that I showed you, the majority of our courses, some differ slightly, but the majority of them cost £27,000 for international students. But with our double degree agreement, that would obviously be a 50% bursary, which would mean they will cost around £13,500, or whatever's highest, or the same as what a UK student would pay. So obviously that's a good benefit. The student accommodation is an extra cost you need to factor in when planning if Cranfield will be right for you. So we offer halls of residence to you. These normally cost around £600 to £700 per month. You would get your own bathroom, and then you'll be in a shared kitchen with around 6 or 7 other students. Or we offer more private accommodation. Maybe you would like a house or apartment for couples, and they're obviously more expensive, around £1,000 to £1,100 per month. So think about that. Think about the cost of living as well. This is something important if you're thinking about studying abroad. And then you can see if it's a viable option for you. I've talked about the clubs. Have a look on our website at our virtual experience. It shows a lot of our facilities in energy, in manufacturing, aerospace. You can see them in a lot more detail, which is very interesting. We have a career development service at Cranfield for all of our students, including all of our international students that come. And you will be able to have career development. You'll be able to get help with your CV in English, interviews. They invite employers onto campus in the engineering and technology world. So you can start having discussions with them and see if there are any internships available. And Cranfield is actually recognised in the UK for being number 8 for employability, which shows how closely we work with industry and how many opportunities our students have, which for you is really important when you're at the stage of being a master's student and thinking about your future. Okay, and finally, how to apply, important part. So you will need to go through the selection process here with your faculty in the Politécnica. So they will obviously give you the instructions. Normally, I think the deadline's around, is it around November, December, more or less?
The deadlines for the internal?
Yeah,
normally. A little bit later.
A bit later, okay.
Fine, January, February, like.
Yeah, perfect.
Middle of February is already assigned.
Everything done, okay. Fantastic. So yeah, that's your confirmation. Middle of February you've got to make a decision. You will then be nominated by the Politécnica de Madrid to Cranfield to say, here's our interested students. We will then send you our online application form so you can start applying. And then you would get an offer letter from Cranfield. It's important to remember that you need an English language certificate, okay? These are the ones that we accept at Cranfield. They do need to be within the last 2 years as well. And we have another 3 here, Cambridge as well, Trinity and Language Cert. I think IELTS is probably the most recognised, to be honest, but obviously all of them are valid, all of them are good. And very recently, we also accept Duolingo. This is I think within the last month or two, hence why it's not on my list. And not only at Cranfield, but I believe a lot of other UK universities are now accepting that. So you can do the Duolingo test, it has all the security and the phone, and then you can get your grade and submit that as well. So it could be a quicker way of doing it, but important to know. Finally, student visa. Unfortunately, because of Brexit, there's another step students will have to go through, an important step now. We will help you with this. We need to make sure your passport's valid for at least 6 months, meet all of the conditions on your offer letter, so obviously having your English language, being accepted at Cranfield, and then you can actually start your visa application 6 months before the start of your course. We have a visa and immigrations team at Cranfield who will help you and guide you. There is an application fee, an extra cost, unfortunately, but that's something that you would have to incur, £490. And then the £776 per year is our healthcare cover, which will cover you for the whole year in the National Health Service of the UK. And then there is the option, obviously, because you will be in your final year and you'll be looking for jobs, you can obtain a graduate visa, which will then give you permission to stay in the UK for at least 2 years after successfully completing your course. So you would need an offer, obviously, from an employer at this stage. Hopefully you will start getting those connections during your master's. But this is just to know that even though the UK is now outside of the EU, you have very good options to stay. And then if you did get a job with a UK employer and got your graduate visa for 2 years, and they really liked you, they can then give you the option to extend it and to stay for longer. So that's good to know. We have a uni-buddy service. This is our student ambassadors. So these are current students from all around the world. So we have French students, Spanish students who are currently at Cranfield. And there is actually an option for you to work as a student ambassador if you came to Cranfield, do lots of events and fun things. But if you go onto our website, you will actually see there's a pop-up chat. And these are actually our student ambassadors. So if you want to ask them anything about their own journey, about how they applied to Cranfield, what's life like from a student point of view, it's a really great little chat thing to use. So I recommend that. And also go on social media. We publish a lot of our kind of research, a lot of our course, what's going on at Cranfield on Instagram and LinkedIn, Facebook. So it's a great way for you to see all the interesting and fun things that are happening at Cranfield. So today, that's everything I wanted to talk about. Just a general overview of subjects, a general overview of what's life like at Cranfield. Hopefully it gives you a better idea. We'll be very happy to talk to you. We have some virtual open days as well coming up throughout the year, so check them out. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please ask me now. And if not, then thank you very much for listening.